All right, and we are here. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to episode 6 of the Predcast. We got a nice little crew here with us, and I'm excited to get into this. So let's do our introductions first. We'll go over what we're going to be doing here. So let's start with Pinzo. We'll go Medkit, and then we'll go Mangoose, and we'll go myself. I
don't know what you. I'm Pinzo.
Give your shout out. Yep, there you go.
I'm a streamer and a YouTuber in the Pred community. I stream during the day, so I hold down the fort during the day before the guys take it over all night. That's about it.
All right. Yes. So YouTube content creator, streamer. Great to have you here. Excited to hear your opinions on what we got going on. Medkit.
What's up, everyone? It's Medkit here. I also make Predecessor content, and I've been streaming for the past couple of days. And I got a question for Pinzo, actually.
Yeah, lay it on
Pinzo, me. What role is your favorite to play? What hero do you like to play the most, and what hero do you like to play the least? Oh no.
Did we lose him?
Oh no.
You think you shorted his circuits there?
Your question put him to sleep. All right. Just kidding. All right. Well, while we're waiting for Pinzo to get back in here.
Me to do my intro?
Yes, go ahead and do your intro.
What's up, everybody? I'm the Mangoose, your Michigan Wonder, and I like to fuck up the Bearded Wolverines intro. That's what I do.
Oh, Pinzo, I see you're moving again.
I don't know what just happened. So
Welcome back.
Glitch in the matrix, goddammit.
Go ahead.
Did you catch my
I
question?
didn't hear anything.
All right. Okay, so what's your favorite role? What's your most favorite hero to play? What's your least favorite hero to play?
Favorite role, definitely mid. Favorite hero, probably Howitzer. Least favorite hero, probably Murdock.
Ooh.
Murdock. Okay.
Ouch.
What about you,
boring
Mangos?
ass character, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Ouch.
What about you, Mangos? Why is mid Fae your favorite?
Why it's
Faye's not
mid
my favorite. I don't know who the
It's
fuck
not?
you're talking about.
Richter, man.
I don't think there's
Richter.
another hero besides Richter in the game. Like,
Yeah, Richter's his boy.
forced to play Countess just to see what you like. But
I had a feeling your favorite was Fae. But
I do
guess
love the Fae. Those were
Mhm.
my two favorites back in Paragon, was Richter and the Fae. But if given the choice between the two, I will take Richter all goddamn day long. However, I do like the Fae. Think she's underappreciated in Predecessor a little bit, maybe. I think it's her E is a little harder to land than you would think.
Yes.
So and that kind of holds her back just a little bit. It's a little slow. They need to. I mean, she put some ass behind it. Make it go a little faster.
Yeah, they definitely they were working on that. So let me get my introduction away since I was laughing my ass off for it. Mangoose, I miss having you on with these. Always making mine a little laughing chuckle. So I appreciate that. But what's going on, everybody? I'm the Beard Wolverine, your Michigan Wonder, and excited to get this episode to you guys. This episode 6. All right, we're gonna keep grinding these out. You guys see that we don't have Windu with us. He is having some issues going on right now. Nothing major. Just wasn't able to be on here tonight. So shout out to you, Windu. Hope you feel better, and we'll see you next week. And but this show here, what we'd like to do is we like to go over the news and updates of Predecessor. And we like to kind of give that constructive criticism for the devs to understand where the community sits and how we feel about the game. You can see this live here on this channel if you're watching live already. If not, you can also watch it on the YouTube version on Windu's channel. But other than that, get right into it and let's start talking about what we got going on. So the biggest thing here this week, in my opinion, is Countess. And your guys' opinions on Countess. Where we at? Are we thinking she is like the normal MOBA OP release hero? Like we need to, already need to nerf her 2 days in? Or you guys think that she's balanced? Do you think she's underbalanced? What are you guys thinking?
I think she's pretty well balanced, but I think when people understand her kit a little bit better, I think they're going to be blowing the doors off of people. I think she's going to be one of those get ahead heroes that is going to be a true noob stomper. I think, as you get more skilled players, they're going to know how to react to her. But with her having all the healing in her kit now, she's able to survive a little bit longer in team fights and actually contribute beyond just killing the ADC and then retreating back to the fucking jungle. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
that was kind of her identity in Paragon, but she can, besides blowing the squishy, exactly.
Yeah.
She doesn't just blow the squishy anymore. She hangs around for the whole shebang. So that's kind of nice.
That's why Mangoose has been maining ADC lately.
Yeah, I want that Countess. I want that Countess to blow my squishy.
Yes.
I think
Yes,
she's
there we
broken. I think she needs nerfed,
Yeah.
Okay.
like big time.
All right. That, I mean, coming from a mid, which would be kind of a squishy situation, I can understand that. Are you saying that as playing as her, you think she's broken?
Playing her.
Okay.
100%. Too much healing.
Too much healing?
The cooldown on her right click is like 2 seconds late game.
Yeah. I saw somebody actually in Mangoose's Discord, somebody commented and saying that you should build her AP tank. And just because if you go and you alt a tank with her, you would be able to basically get full health off of it in situations or whatever, depending how it worked. I mean, I don't know. I honestly haven't played as her. I've only played against her. So I can't really comment too much on it. But that's what somebody was saying. I'm like, that'd be an interesting setup, I guess, if you could actually survive longer and also be able to heal more off of it with her passive, with the 50% healing or whatever you get off of it. I think that would be a crazy setup. So I'd be interested to see somebody run that and get their opinions back on it. So
What do you think of her early game? Do you find yourself getting too poked out, or like do you feel the ramp up? Like you're struggling early but dominating late once you get a couple of stacks in? No.
No, her
like-
ego's too far. Way
It
too
goes
far.
forever and through walls. Yeah.
It's if you guys played Fault, right, in her E in Fault was like baby distance, which made her play like an assassin. Now she has too much cushion in her E.
yeah. But it also isn't the E. That's the one you're talking about in your video, Mangoose, that it just takes forever, right? That's that cloud that travels. That just
Very slow travel time, yes.
Yeah.
But you can compensate for
Yeah.
that. There's a lot of stuff in Pred that has a slow travel time, but
Even
people
tide.
kind of move slow too. So it's not that hard to hit because it is a pretty wide area.
right.
And coming through walls and you not knowing that it's coming, you're not going to dodge
It
that.
can be hard
Yeah,
to see if you
yeah.
don't see her cast it.
Right.
Also hits hard.
The visual on it though, I have to give the devs praise on that. That visual, that red cloud, I think that looks great. I love the visual of it.
How it rolls forward. Yeah.
Yep.
I have one nitpick about that ability, and it's the name. Why did they change it
Yeah.
from Dark Tide to Even Tide? Where did that come from?
So that every time I cast it, I can go even flow.
I just still call it
Yes.
Dark Tide.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I'm so used to calling it Dark Tide.
Maybe all the numbers on it are even. I don't know. I don't.
Is that the only like standard ability that they renamed? I know like they renamed like Decker's like laser because that didn't fucking.
Yeah, but that's not an ability. Yeah, that's. Yeah,
It's a
I don't know.
ability. It just didn't exist.
No, but that's it. But that's not. I meant to say that's not like a Paragon ability. Like that's not a.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. But it's not an ability.
Like a pre-existing ability that got their name changed for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I prefer Dark Tide. Even Tide sounds kind of weird. I don't
Dark
know.
Tide
That's
just
my
fits
only
with
nitpick
her
about it.
situation. You know, like with how,
Right,
you know,
yeah.
being a vampire. You know, like.
Whole count of situation.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I guess her name is Countess, and she's talking about even. We're going back with the number situation. Maybe it's counting. You know.
She's not Dracula. She's not-
Oh my God.
one ability. It was more like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9 ability. I'm
Even Tide.
by the
Ha
way.
ha
10
ha.
stacks is even.
Yeah, 10 stacks is even. I'm really
Right.
impressed by how they've implemented her though. Like I was expecting
2 swords.
I had
Even.
I had a bit of a problem with Predecessor at first because it didn't seem like their ability queuing was a thing. But with her, it's definitely there. It's definitely in there. Like you can drop in on somebody and dump your entire kit.
Yeah, we talked
And it
about
goes
that.
Smooth. It goes smooth and it goes snappy. And I was very afraid that was not going to be the case. It is the case. So well done, Omega Studios.
All right.
Cue
So real
buffering,
quick,
yeah.
before we get too far, real easy says she needs changes. She's kind of meh. And again, like I said, I never played as her, but playing against her, the only thing that changed for me playing against her was I knew, hey, I need to get one of these anti-heal items. Let me go get the taint rounds, or let me go get taint guard, or whatever position I'm playing. Let's get all these taint situations, right? That's the only thing that changed it with my kit. Well, I just knew, hey, playing against her, I got to focus these items eventually in my kit. Other than that, like I didn't even notice that she was there. Like it wasn't like, to me, it wasn't like, hey, this is the new hero, and she's in every match because she's a new hero. But it wasn't like she's there. I have to do this.
Before even items, do you remember the one hero that was a really hard counter to Countess? You guys know who I'm talking about?
I have one guess.
It was Bellica.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because in Paragon, when she shadow slips in and you stun her, she can't recall back to her shadow image.
Canceled it. Same thing with
And
Vault.
meanwhile, she's getting sucked. Her mana's getting sucked, right? And she lost her engage, and you can just back up while she's stunned. But here in Predecessor, that's not the case. If she gets stunned, she can still return to her after image. Like Bellica still has a little bit of oppression through the drone and the stun and whatnot, but it's not as like hard countered like back in Paragon, right?
Right.
Well, Drago was always a good counter to her Paragon, and I think he's a good counter to her in Predecessor.
Yeah, just
She dives in on you, you drop your gag grenade, and then
yeah,
Yep.
when you see a big scary vampire coming after, just fart on the floor and they'll go away.
yeah, shit your pants and run.
Yeah, that's what I usually do. It
Uh,
works 9 out of 10 times.
no, we're talking about games, guys, not real life stuff.
Oh shit, my bad.
So I know Drago. I think Drago's a good counter to a lot of the heroes in this game with that gag grenade. Crunch appears on you, you drop that gag grenade, and you just stand in it. You stand in it, and it's like Crunch can't do anything. So
I think Drago's underrated. I don't think
I don't think he needed a buff.
what was Drago's buff?
They took 2 seconds off rad rounds, and then they buffed his ultimate so that you don't get CC'd out of it.
Yep.
Which I do.
yeah.
I did. I also got CC'd out of it this week.
Oh,
So it's not perfect yet, but
not perfect. All right, still working on it. Okay. Speaking of not perfect, the devs. There was something I wanted to say with Countess and her kit. Besides, obviously, the name change.
her passive.
her ult follows blink.
Does it really?
Yeah, it actually
No,
does.
her shadow slip can also follow blink
Yeah.
and
Her
return
shadow
back to
slip gives
base, which is kind
immunity
of
frames.
fucking hilarious.
What are you guys' thoughts on that? I almost think that shouldn't happen. Like if you time your blink, it should be you well played it, right?
But I want it because like seeing those moments on Aelit's videos were hilarious.
Yeah, when somebody was backing, she tried to shadow slip to them and shadow
Or
slipped into the
Chimera.
fountain and died.
I had a Kai go to the enemy
Yeah.
fountain this week.
Yeah.
The first time
Yeah.
I'd seen it in Pred, it was hilarious.
Backing's different though. But you teleporting, like you using your blink for an escape. You come around the corner, you see a Countess, like, oh gosh, then you use your you use your flash. Like I feel like if you did it, like that should be your hey, I'm now at a safe distance. It shouldn't go through that.
The timing is really tight.
Yes.
It is very tight. But when you pull it off, you're gonna be surprised yourself.
I mean, it's more luck than anything
Also-
else.
yeah.
Also, there is almost no combat readability if someone is about to blink. Like maybe there is in the very beginning, like when everyone has a blink, right? They'll just turn around, jump, do a little jump to kind of aim their thing. But after the first 5 minutes, when you have no idea when the enemy has blink or not, there's almost no readability. So it's really just luck.
Yeah.
It really is.
That's actually something I brought up. I don't know if I brought it up last week or not, but I noticed it on PTO that they have a little icon above their head when they use their flash, and I like similar to what Pred has when you use your heals, right? If you use your health pot, I think they should have something here as well when you use the flash to kind of give you a little indicator. Hey, that was a flash, because you have people like Fang Mao. You got his teleport, then you also got his flash. Well, which one was it? Or not his what was the teleport? Yeah, whatever it is, but which one did he use at that time? So if his flash is down or if it was just a teleport, so you got to kind of understand what cooldown you're trying to think of in that situation. So I think having a little indicator would be good.
Predecessor has both a sound and an animation when you blink, though, and Overprime has nothing. It's just instant.
Right.
So it makes sense that they have the item. Like that helps a lot.
There's also a little bit of a smoke trail, but it's kind of hard to notice in the heat of
Is
the
that
moment.
okay? I'd have to pay more attention.
No, it's a little bit. It's very hard to miss because things get heated. If someone is blinking, then yeah, it's something intense is happening, right?
I think it could be more clear as is.
Yeah. I mean, it's already in the game having the health pod above your head. I just think it'd be something. Just give us a little indicator. Hey, just so you know, hey, this is what that was what went down. And if you don't see it, then obviously it was his ability, right? Because I don't need. Hey, I use my Murdock snipe. Hey, all of a sudden you see a long dong right above my head. It's like, okay, yep. He just used the snipe. That's what it was. I don't need it for every ability, but just for that flash, because there's multiple instances of a flash or a TP in the game. You want to know which one was used, which one wasn't. Especially because you have. Correct me if I'm wrong, but don't you also get something above your head if you use the little your crest, the flash on your crest?
Yeah.
So you already have one for that as well. Just give us something for the flash as well, because you have so many. Yeah, there's so many instances of TP in the game. Give us something else.
Yeah, there's items pop out, but not the in-game mechanic, which is the flash. That one, there's no thing above your head. What were you gonna say, Mangoose?
I was just gonna say I like that that Countess Shadow Slip follows the target of the blink.
Okay.
Anything that rewards aggression and punishes being a little pussy running away with your flash, I think is good stuff in my book.
All right. All right, I don't think
I guess I'll ask everyone, including the chat, what do you guys normally run the first 3 items on Countess? What do you like building her on? What items do you like to use? God damn it, words are hard.
I just played her a handful of times to get a feel for her, so I just used the recommended when I played her. So I'm not.
What role are you talking about, Medkit?
Probably, probably mid,
solo?
because offlane is a lot more match dependent, right?
You have a lot of options in offlane.
Yeah, but mid you can literally just build like a mage and you'll be just fine. Versus offlane, if you're up against say a Grux, you're gonna have to build a little smart, right? You have to kind of think a little harder on that. But what do you guys like to normally build, and what crest have you found yourself kind of gravitating towards?
My first 3 items every game are Combustion, Wraith Leggings, and Astral Catalyst. As far as crest, I think Time Flux Band is bugged with her right now, so that if you teleport to someone and back while Time Flux is active, your Time Flux goes away.
Oh, you immune your own Time Flux?
Yeah, Time Flux, I think that would be her best one, but it's if you teleport out and back, it doesn't work or something like that. So Epoch is probably what I'm running right now. But I think if you're gonna kill squishies, you have to run the double pen. You have to go Combustion, Wraith Leggings. I think those items are too strong.
You said double Wraith Leggings? Is that what you said?
Combustion, Wraith Leggings, then an Astral Catalyst is what I've been running.
I thought you said double Wraith Leggings. I'm like, I get having double stats, but you're not going to get the passive twice. I don't know how that works. Why would you do it? All right. Speaking of Wraith Leggings, and I asked this to Smokey when he gamed with Goose and I actually. With Wraith Leggings, is that a have to be item when Wraith is in the game? If you're Wraith, you have to put the Wraith Leggings on, or does he just walk around naked?
As his passive, starts the game with it.
Yeah. He starts the game with Wraith Leggings on.
We'll have to see the updated item mark for that.
I think what was fun about that game with Smokey is it's so obvious that at least Smokey pays 0 attention to any competition. He is focused on Predecessor and Predecessor only, because I was making jokes left and right, just right over his head.
Yeah.
He was stuck. He got ganked it offlane. I was like, Smokey, quick, take the portal.
That's the
hell I was talking about.
and then you brought up aspects, and you're like, he's like, what
tower down?
Favor.
Favor do I get for getting that first tower down? He had no fucking idea what I was talking about.
Yeah, he's like, what? He's like, favor. He's like, do I owe you a favor?
Yeah, he did owe me a favor by the end of that game because I snatched Feng Mao away from his Countess.
Yep. Yeah, no, that was a great game. I love. Speaking of that too, is I love the fact that you'll see I see Ace go live. I've seen Smokey jump in our games. He's also jumping other people's games. And seeing them active in people's streams and playing with them, or just playing themselves in their own game, is great to see. And we all know that I come from Fault, right? I mean, I've been active in all of these games, but I come primarily from Fault, playing all that. I don't think I've ever seen. And I'm not trying to throw shade at them, but I don't think I've ever seen Pressure or Jester, actually play Fault. I never saw him in a game or whatever like that. So it's nice to see you got these higher up people actually, in the game playing, spending time with the community.
Agreed.
Mhm.
I'm probably less excited about Countess and more excited about some of the sound effect changes and stuff.
Yes, we brought that up with Smokey. Yep.
Yeah, I really like that. That's been my main problem with Predecessor so far. Is like people like different things about Paragon, right? What I liked about Paragon was that visceral impact of the third person gameplay, and I think Predecessor was lacking that. I think it's still lacking that. I think Predecessor feels a little soft to me. Yes, it's smooth, but it also feels a little bit soft, and a lot of that is due to sound design. And I think these steps that they have taken has ratcheted Predecessor up a little bit for me at least, and has really improved it. Like Sparrow's sound effects are way better. Just everybody's sound effects in general are just much better now.
Yeah. And actually, I said we brought that up with Smokey. Smokey's the one that brought it up with us. As soon as he joined the game, we started playing. He's like, "So, what do you guys think about the sound effect changes?" And I've already played at that time when he jumped in. I think I played 2 games already, and I think it was like Murdock and Sparrow. And that time I was playing Drongo. Just I want to hear all 3 of the different sound effects, and I loved it. And, Sparrow, I agree with you, Magus. Before that change, you almost didn't even know that you were shooting with Sparrow. You were watching the action. You had to like visually see it. Like, all right, it was almost like playing the game on mute. Like you were saying, all right, I know that I'm shooting because I can see that I'm shooting. And it really wasn't much there. It was really quiet. And now they made a change. 1, you hear it, you know that you're shooting, and then 2, now you can even hear the difference between a miss and a hit. So not that I know what a miss sounds like, but I mean you can tell that difference.
Real right. You heard me miss several rifts.
You heard me miss
to the max.
That's what we were saying last night. Is that should be Richter's voice line? Is "God damn it" whenever he misses a hook.
Mangoose's voice saying "God damn it."
Yeah. You hear it every 10 seconds. God damn it.
That would be great.
God damn it.
But yeah, I think that adds a lot to the game. I still think they have a ways to go with that, though. Especially like melee hit registration. I think is way soft. Like you can swing just outside of the range of a minion, and you can swing and actually hit a minion, and you don't really know unless it's the numbers popping up. Or you get the kill on the minion. Like
I can see that
they need a lot of work on that. They need even better sound effects, I think. But they're improving. They got their early access grace period. They can improve all this shit. They can move forward.
Yeah. And so Pinzo, I don't know how much and Medkit, I don't know how much of fault you guys dabbled in, if you dabbled in it at all or not. All right, a good amount. Okay, all right. And I know Mangoose did. So the reason I brought it up though is real easy. It says range auto still feel off. It's better, but still just feels off. Maybe I'm still used to fault. So I didn't know if you guys were played it enough or played a lot, or if you had been in that same situation. Because I'm almost wondering if we had somebody here who like, hey, I never even touched fault, where they would feel about the sounds, right? If we've already been playing a game, we know what we're something we're used to. Is it because we're used to it that it's something that we're giving them too much critique, maybe? Or is it something that we think that we definitely, the critique should still be there?
Absolutely not, because I did a bunch of videos where I would compare like all the heroes between all
3,
the 3 games,
like Grux,
and I would go back, look at the sound effects and the visual effects of old Paragon games, and Paragon definitely, like I said, had that visceral impact. You knew when you got a hit.
Okay. Something
else I think they need to add is a crit sound. There needs to be a different sound.
Yeah, you were saying that.
Than when you just
that would be nice.
In a regular hit. It would just it wouldn't add much to the game. It would just be more exciting and make the game more fun, in my opinion.
I think they also need to change the crit number color. It blends too well with the red and orange that they have.
Maybe the size.
Maybe the size. I mean, not that I want it to be like Smite, but like Smite has like the blood splatter or whatever look, behind it,
Very
so when
obvious
it's like, damn, that's a crit number. It just screams to you like, hey, I hit with a crit that time. I mean, I'm not saying it's got to be the blood splatter, but there's something that tells you, hey, that's what I'm critting for right now. I'm not. That's not my normal hit.
It makes the player keep going. Makes it feel like
take her tape comes down.
Just shooting streamers everywhere.
Every time you crit. So if you got 100% crit,
Hooray!
looks like the end of fucking World War II up in that bitch.
There you go. There you go. I like it. Yeah, no, I mean, so there's definitely things they need to work on. And that's actually, I think that's where I love being into this community and being part of this game is I love to see that transition, right? Just the fact that when you go from when they early access release to right now, just the changes they've already made is great changes. That patch they put out, I read the patch and I was not upset with anything they had. Like, I'm like, oh, I love all of these changes. You know, like I'm not going. I know Penzo said that like the Drongo. I'm not talking about balance wise. I'm talking about like actual things, bug fixes, everything like to change the game a little bit. Besides just balancing, balancing is going to be something with a MOBA. You're going to have that almost every patch. You're going to get some kind of balance going on, and that's what needs to happen, right?
Yep.
But I love everything that I read. I'm like, oh, this is all great additions. You know, just adding customs. You know, adding customs to the game. Has anybody dealt with the customs yet? I haven't actually had a chance to jump into customs. Anybody dealt with that?
No, not really.
Okay.
Not me.
Medkit, no?
I fucking hate customs.
No.
I do know that. I do know that.
I would also run ARAMs though if like I get like 10 or more viewers and they want to jump in. Like customs would be really cool to do ARAMs or something.
Yeah, no, it's perfect spot for that. And I mean, when I was in with Fault, being part of Fault, I did back when my name was Cooch I did Cooch's Custom Tuesdays. So every Tuesday I would get enough people to go in. We'd do a bunch of things, ARAMs, all a bunch of stuff. But then the player base just dwindled to a point to where I was sitting there waiting for 2 hours just to get enough people. So that's something I definitely want to bring back. So anybody in the community that's that wants to do stuff like that, I want to bring that back like once a week or whatever. We'll do some customs and have a good time. Maybe we can even like beg Mangoose to come play with us for a little bit, just to kind of get a big name in there and mess around.
I don't fuck with customs. So yeah, the custom matches that they did include though seem pretty basic. Like you don't have spectator mode. It has to be 5 versus 5.
Right.
I think there could have been a lot more done with it. Again, early access. I mean, we can open up that can of worms too. I still think it was a bad decision for them to go into early access with so many missing features for the game. Still think that's a bad decision, but I understand where they're coming from. I understand your arguments too, Bearded, but
yeah.
Like what we say on FTM and what you say are coming from two different places. Like your arguments are based in morality. Like, yes, we should give an indie developer a better opportunity to have their game in early access and improve. And we should not expect an indie developer to have as developed of an early access as like a AAA studio. But then the reality of it is that while we may understand that moral aspect of it, the average gamer does not care. The reality of it is the average gamer, when they buy an early access game, they expect more than what they're getting with Predecessor. But it may be a smart business decision on their part because there are the para refugees. They have that pre-built player base for them.
Right.
That's going to be enough to fund them and carry them forward so that they can make all those improvements. And then when they do their big push on final release and make it free to play and all that, that's when they'll be able to attract new players. Whether or not it'll be a little too late by then, we'll see, but that's all in the future.
Right. And I understand exactly what you're saying with the morality side of it and then the reality side of it. I guess the part that I'm talking from is us as doing these shows, and because I see these shows being a very influential for the people who don't know about these games. Mangoose, you know it for sure with For the Minions. You have people come on For the Minions and not even know the para-refugees even or para-zombies are even out there. You're like, oh, what is this? And you're like, what? And so then you become the spokesman for all these games, right? And I think because of with us having that ability of being the spokesman for these games, then we don't accept that reality when we know the reality of it. Like hey, this is where it's at. I can understand people being, thinking this, but that's not what this is. These are actually indie dev companies and we need to give them that fair shake. Instead of just being the, like what Jedi and you guys on For the Minions can be like, oh, well, this is what an early access should be. This is what this 2022, this is what they are. No, that's what people, that's the expectations that we what's the word I'm looking for? We put too high. Like we shouldn't have gotten that far. That's not the expectations that ever should have gotten that way because of AAA companies. Is what I'm saying.
Right. And like I said, but I think both arguments are correct.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Both arguments are correct. They're just based in two different viewpoints.
For sure.
In reality.
Yep.
Yeah, it definitely should have never gotten into that point. What I want to know too is like all the motherfuckers coming into my videos telling me that I need to respect the early access and that
I didn't send them, I promise.
Yeah, where the fuck were they when Fault was struggle busting? That's what I want to know.
Right?
Where was your fucking balls when Fault was like struggling out the gate? Like nobody wanted to give them a chance to improve. They released that shit 2 years ago. Nobody was there like, oh no, it's an early access. They need time to improve. There was like very few people. Like I don't know, that pisses me off. There's a lot of stuff that pisses me off about the way Fault went down, even though if I didn't really like Fault that much, still think there was a lot of things that were a little morally ambiguous. And then especially in light of the way people are supporting Predecessor that's doing some of the exact same things that they condemned Fault for, I think that's fucked up. I don't like it.
I agree with you. I completely agree with you. As everybody knows, I'm probably one of the bigger supporters of Fault in that situation. So, and I'll never deny it. I really enjoyed playing the game, and I mean, if it was still here, I'd still be playing it. I'd be playing. I'd play all three of these games. I have no issues with that. Like I enjoy all three of them. I'll play all three of them. And I've actually seen people in other social media areas that they're saying that because of Predecessor releasing at the point they released, almost agreeing with what you're saying, Mangoose, and the fact that they released too early, but like saying that Fault is even farther ahead. If Fault would have just stayed open, then people would have seen this, and then people would have actually fled to Fault. I just disagree with it. I feel like Fault had its doors open as long as they did, and nobody was fleeing there no matter what happened. So I still don't think there would have been enough of the people that would have played these two games out there that are available to play. There wouldn't have been enough people to go there and actually continue to play that game.
There's a big difference between Predecessor and Fault's early access, and I think it's the reason that Predecessor is actually going to succeed where Fault failed. Is Predecessor doesn't have asshole giant content creators telling everybody that it's a fucking scam cash grab. Fault had just a terrible reputation right from the get-go. That drove people away. That turned Fault into a meme that nobody would even think about giving it a shot. And then they shot themselves in the foot several times too with releasing poorly optimized patches and shit. Like it was a joint combined effort. But Predecessor doesn't have to deal with that. Predecessor is going to survive and they're going to thrive because they did release to a very good impression. They had a very well-designed, very polished game that people were able to get in and play, unlike Fault's early access. But Fault's early access was almost 3 years ago, whatever. I need to get off this fucking Fault shit.
It's not your fault. That's okay.
From like a creator standpoint, has anyone noticed, it's been a little over 2 weeks, right? Almost 3 weeks since we got our hold of Predecessor. Has anyone noticed like a big, down, like a big dip in views? Or like, is you guys stuff staying pretty constant? Like my stuff hasn't dipped at all in 3 weeks.
Yeah. No, I mean, my stuff's been...
The people who are interested are still interested.
My stuff's pretty consistent.
Yeah, if you look at their numbers too, like both the viewership numbers and the you can only look at Steam numbers, you can't look at Epic Games numbers, but they've stayed constant. Of course, they dropped off a little bit at first. Every fucking game after their initial release is going to drop off a little bit, but after that, they've stayed really consistent, and that's what you want to see. You want to see it stay consistent, and then start rising a little bit. And if they can stay consistent throughout their early access and then release their free to play, that's when they're going to have that huge spike of new players that are going to stay with the game. Hopefully, if they can do a good job in early access.
All right, I'm going to get into a conversation here that Huddy brings up.
Yeah, it's getting kind of juicy here.
Toxicity, all right? Toxicity MOBAs, right? So Huddy says, I have two separate friends. I like how he had to separate that they were separate, like they're not the same friend. He has two separate friends who are enjoying the game, but are starting to not play already because of the community flaming and raging about gameplay with 5 minutes into the game. Now, I'm not that person to say like, hey, well, that's just the way it is. Get over it. So I hate that situation, but like I also know Huddy's age, and I know like his friend group is like they played early games, fucking Halo and fucking Modern Warfare or Call of Duty, and you had those you always had Xbox flamers, right? This is flaming and toxicity has been a thing in gaming for years, right? So if that's your reason for not playing a game, then I guess you didn't really enjoy the game that much. Is all I'm gonna say in this. Now, do I think that things need to be happen for toxicity to be taken out of games? Yes, 100% agree. But I just don't think if you're being pushed away because somebody's being mean to you, I think this world's just falling apart. Because I don't know. I'm an older guy. I have thick skin. People can sit there and say shit to me all they want. I'm not going to worry about it. It's not going to stop me from playing a game that I enjoy. Is all I'm trying to say. I get.
Toxicity is always going to be a problem, but you can have it at levels where it will kill a game. Heroes of New Earth is a fine example of that. That game mainly died because the community was so incredibly toxic. So if the developers let it get out of hand and don't step in to do anything about it, then that's going to kill the game. Like they do need to step in. They've already, again, with this latest patch, they have the player reporting. I wish you could do it at the end of the game instead of during the game. But yeah, if somebody's being a dick, like just you can report them now, and that's right. That's huge. I love to see it because you need to get that out of their game. They need that out the hell out of their game because they have a good strong player base, but that will eat away at that player base quicker than anything.
How do you guys feel about the? Oh, go ahead, Pinzo.
I was just gonna say, like the Xbox argument gets brought up a lot about that kind of stuff. Like if you played Xbox, you got a lot of flame. But I do think it's a little difference being stuck in a 10-minute match of Call of Duty versus like an actual sort of team game that a MOBA brings for 30 plus minutes. I think that kind of brings out some more toxicity in people.
It does for sure. It does add that. I don't disagree with it at all. Like I said, I don't want to be that guy. I hate it. Like I at work for people I'll bring up and hey, why I've been with my company for 4 years, right? And if I find something, hey, why was it? Oh, that's just the way it's always been. That's just the way it's going to be. Well, no, let's actually be the squeaky wheel, and we'll get the grease. Like let's just kind of keep doing this, right? Let's keep talking about it, let's complain about it, and that things will change. So I'm all about it. I'm all about doing our best that we can get toxicity out of the game, right? I just think the changes that have been made, the text or the chat feature is automatically off by default. You got to go in and turn it on if you want it. Now when it comes to and he says that they're like running down the game or just like FFing or whatever, that's the report feature. Now, Magus, I agree with you. Then that's something that I definitely think is coming in their next version of it. Is report feature, like when you finally have your end screen, you can report from there. That'll be great when they add that. But until then, I think what we can do on our shows, we got this show before the Minions or whatever, we can kind of promote. If you have somebody to report, when the game's about to be over with, go and report at that time. To give that time, because I agree with you. Reporting, you want to report towards the end of the game. You don't want to report instantly, because what if that person's just new to the game and not knowing that they're throwing like that, or they don't know anything about wards. They don't know that they're getting ganked and they're feeding the jungler right now. Like they're literally just trying to learn this game. So you don't want to just, hey, let's report this person right away. No, you give them the full game worth and then you figure that out. So when the game's almost over with either your core is being taken or their core is being taken, then that's when I would send the report. And that until they do get the report function post game.
Or the end match screen where you have your hero in front of you and it's like a victory or defeat, your XP goes up and then you click continue. You know that screen I'm talking about? Yeah. What if they had the scoreboard there with the report features on there also, so you have more time at least to be like, okay, this guy, right? Because
that's the expectation.
Right. I agree.
And what do you guys feel about the game chat box being turned off by default now? What do you guys think about that?
I think it's weird to me.
Right.
That seems like a strange way to solve player toxicity. You know what? Fuck it. If it works, it works. I'm not necessarily opposed to it. I've just never heard of this being ever done. So I'm kind of curious to see how it works out. It sucks for me because I don't know what I need to do. I still need to talk to somebody over at Pred, but my ping system doesn't work. Like I pull up the chat, I pull up the pings and I can't click anything. Like I can't ping missing mid. I call it out in chat. So like I ping the map real hard and call it out in chat. That's how I do it.
Do you press C to open it up?
I know how to use the report function. It's not working for me.
I'm asking because like I want to know what your bind is. Because if you do it on like middle mouse for just the navigation, not necessarily the quick ping, it does weird things.
Yeah, I've rebounded a few times just to check to see if rebinding it would help.
Oh,
interesting. Yeah, I'm actually interested to see what they do for you because
Okay, here's the dumbest reason ever to not fix it. I want my game to remain as corn on my desktop forever, so I'm
mine still says corn.
RIP corn.
Mine still says corn.
I've got corn.
Yeah, but you haven't
I still have mine.
reinstalled it. That's what I think I have to do in order to fix this problem.
That's a great reason, actually. I agree with you. I would be the one. Hey, I'll fight through this. I will fight through this issue. Unless it was game breaking, like that's where I would have like, all right, now I got to uninstall. But until I get a game breaking bug, it's gonna stay corn on my. And for those of you who don't know, us as content creators, we were giving a different rendition of the game to play the game a week beforehand, so we could get make content for you guys to help hype up the early access. And that rendition in EGS was called Corn. So then when you would go look for a game, you would go look for Predecessor, you wouldn't find it. So corn is on what it is on our desktops. I mean, I don't know. Let's move on though. We got Kalari peppermint skin. You guys' thoughts on that post they made today? Was that today? I think it was today or yesterday. This morning. Okay, yeah. All right, yeah. Sorry, I had 4 days off now. Like my whole week is just all messed up right now. I don't know what's happening. So, yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Meds.
I think it's free.
Oh, it's free. You got to win.
You can earn it through in-game. You have to win. But that's about it. At least you don't buy it, which, thankfully, But my question is, where's Richter? Where's old Saint Rick?
Yeah, I want.
That was the preferable skin. By the way, Antharth, I didn't see your ping, so it doesn't count.
Full credit goes to Mr. Meds.
All right. So yeah, I'm hoping. I mean, I guess it's probably gonna be too late at that point. But like, I was kind of hoping that we kind of do a couple of these. Like, here we go. Like, hey, Monday to Tuesday, you got Kalari if you want a game between Monday and Tuesday. All right. Wednesday to Thursday, you get Krampus, the old Saint Rick skin, and then you just kind of keep going and you get a few of them here and there. Like I think that would be really cool, but
I mean, it says more details coming soon. Like, what are the odds they bamboozle us and they're bringing us, like 2 or 3 skins?
That'd be nice.
It would be very nice.
What are the odds they bamboozle us and they have their own skins? That's my little bugaboo there. I'm tired of getting the epic skin recolors. Like.
Yeah,
I want to see them show their stuff.
Yeah, I want to
see it in March.
Yeah, I want to see their stuff for sure because like we have besides the roadmap, we haven't really seen like their own skin. Besides, you had your Hunter skin, and even that skin was very lackluster in my opinion. Like the color palette just didn't like pop. Like it wasn't like oh my gosh, look at this skin. So I was like,
I think that's completely subjective. Like color palettes are completely subjective. Like
100%.
What you like and what you dislike. However, the fucking puke green, baby shit green Muriel recolor skin that you get with the pack, what the fuck is that? Like who likes that? Like I don't know who on their team is coming up with these color palettes, but they need somebody with a little more taste, a little more refinement in there.
All right, so Empty says that they're not releasing a shop because they saw how much money Huddy spent on Valorant. True story. So, I don't know, like, so I completely 100% with you. I want to see their own IPs. I want to see their own skins because I want to see if they're able to put a skin that's on level as PTO, right? We all know PTO puts out some dope skins, right? Those skins are amazing, especially the Christmas skins they came out with. Those are fucking on point. Great skins, right? So I want to see if they can put out something to that level. That would be great. But until they do have a store that they can do all that stuff, I'm okay with getting these other skins, especially if, hey, all you gotta do is play to win, or play to win it, right? Play the game, win it, and you get the skin, right? Especially if it's already an epic skin, like a Kalari skin, and we got the Richter skin, and who else is there? There's Fang Mao has a Christmas skin. Gadget's got a Christmas skin. These are all characters that are already in this game, so we could definitely use all these Christmas skins and just kind of, here you go, here's our Christmas edition, thanks for helping us with our early access, here's a Christmas present from us, we appreciate you guys. You know, I think that would be great. Sorry, I had something going on. You could definitely hear comms here. All right, but
Cops, oh shit.
yeah. So, but yeah, thoughts. But all right, so here's. All right, I don't want to try to make a straight comparison with these games, right? I want to try to keep it strictly Predecessor, but we know this skin just recently got released in PTO, right? Mm-hmm. And that skin is you have to pay for that skin. Am I correct?
In PTO.
In PTO.
Yeah. Well, no, you can earn it with your Jeremy's.
Your Jimmy Renners, all right.
Yeah.
I love that. Just that's what it is. You can earn your Jeremy's, all right. All right. So you can, all right, but you can still play. You get the in-game currency. You're purchasing it with in-game currency. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's good in that regard. All right. So I mean, so it's the same thing then. Essentially, you're playing. You earn enough. You know, here you got to win the game. You got to win. I don't know how many games you got to win. They just said you got to get wins or whatever. So you win the game and you get this game here. So it's pretty much similar. Okay, that's fine. Because the way I understood is you had it was a purchase thing, right? So I'm like, all right. I'm like, well, that's a little bit different. I mean, we don't have a shop. We can't purchase anything. You know, so there's that holding up against our head. But so that works as well. Now, besides the Richter skin and besides their own IP, what else are you guys wanting with this next big patch that's coming out? Eventually, we don't have a date. Obviously, I'm just saying, like, looking forward, right? Where like we know if it's as far as January, we know Revenant's coming, right? But if there's there could be a version 0.03 or 0.3, coming out after Christmas. What would you guys like? What are you guys wanting with that next patch? We got customs with this one. What do you want with the next one?
This is gonna be a stretch, but I kind of want theater mode. But
yeah, as a content creator, I want
content creator, yeah, I want exactly.
I don't
theater
think
mode,
that's the most important thing for the game, but the most important thing for me as a content creator, motherfucking replay.
Yeah, that's the
I think the community would enjoy it as well.
Right, exactly.
The community would enjoy it for sure.
Yeah, and then of course Rev. We definitely need another ADC. We only have 3.
Yeah.
Features.
I want even better sound design. They've taken steps.
Yeah.
Okay.
See some more steps.
More oomph on their ranged auto attacks. Like Mangoose says, make them more visceral.
Yes.
Okay.
More sounds.
Benzo?
They hinted at Raptor changes. For fuck's sake, please do something with the Raptor. So it's not useless as my nipples for the first 2 takes and then the game-winning thing to do on the 3rd take. You know what I mean?
But I mean, is it useless then? You mean to get to the 3rd take, you have to get the first 2?
Yeah, but the first you're the losing team and you sneak one in and like, oh sweet, we have extended river buff duration. Now we got them. Yep. Now we'll get those bastards.
I thought they buffed the Raptor a little bit. They made it a little more, gave it more HP and a little bit more damage.
Yeah, but that's got nothing to do with your purpose of getting the Raptor, right? We're talking about Maggie's talking about the purpose of actually going to get the Raptor buff. Like what is the purpose of that? And the purpose of that is because right now Raptor is supposed to be the secondary neutral Prime is supposed to be like, literally it's called Prime. It's supposed to be your primary neutral, like your neutral target that you're supposed to get, right? But you could actually win a whole game by just getting 5 Raptor buffs and not even touching Prime, because Raptor is that big of a deal. You get 5 or more Raptor buffs, like you are just ungodly doing, the increase that you get in that is insane. So they need to definitely change it to where like it's not just a stacking. I like the fact that it's a permanent buff, but it shouldn't be like that much stack. Like I think by the end of what was that, after 5 you're getting 36% increase of everything.
It's a lot.
I think it maxes at 7 at 30%.
30%? Yeah, so that's 30%
cap.
You get 6.
Think so.
It's doubled every time.
Mode, and I think I killed the Raptor 100 times because I wanted to try and one-shot the Orb Prime with Murdock.
Did it work?
And I don't know if there's a cap. It worked, yeah.
No, there's no cap because you get to a point where you're just one-shotting the Raptor as soon as you.
I think the increase caps. So it's
very slowly.
So instead of it being, that's not. So I think it's 6% every time, right, or something like that. So it's 6, 12, 18, and then just kind of. But that's so when you get the first one, the third one, it's 6% increase of your physical power and your whatever the rest is, right? Sorry, as an ADC man, I know I guess more physical power. 6% added to your physical power, then the next one gives you 12%, but that's 12% on top of the 6, so that's 18%. It's
compound,
and then the next one is 18% on top of what you already have. So then it keeps adding more and more. Yes, that's 100% true. So that's why Raptor is so strong, and that's why you need to get it. That's why if you are a jungler, you have to. This has to be your focus. Don't go over to solo lane if Raptor's about to be up. It's not worth it. You need to be here. Like that's like literally people need to know that. A game will be lost if you don't get Raptor.
And if your jungler pings Raptor, don't fucking stay to last hit that minion.
Yeah.
Don't fucking just go. Just fucking
go.
It's just like if you're a mid laner and somebody's attacking your jungler on your side of the map, drop what the fuck you're doing, go help him. You're the mid laner, that's your job. Go fucking help him.
Right.
If he's on the other side of the jungle and he's fucking caught up near their inhibitors or some shit, that's on him, bro. No help for him. But if it's on your side of the jungle, go help him. Go help take Raptor. PSA.
Yeah. No, Raptor is huge. You need to get.
It's a tool to help the team that's ahead just put the losing team out of their misery. If you think about it that way. Because you don't want games to just drag on. And the team that's losing, they don't want to play either if they felt like they already lost the game, 20 minutes ago. Like, hey, I'm wasting my time here. Like, get me out.
Yeah. You do need some comeback mechanics though. Here's the problem that's I find with both Predecessor and Overprime. People just give up so goddamn much. I do not remember Paragon. People just giving up every single fucking match. Like it is such a rarity in either game to actually kill your opponent's core or have them kill your core because everybody just says fuck it and throws in the towel, which I can understand if you're not having fun, you're getting beat down real hard, but it's like you lose one team fight and you got somebody trying to fucking F1. It's like, get out of here.
Well, so what percentage of you guys' games that you're losing do you feel are winnable?
Every single one, as long as I feel like as long as the enemy team doesn't have 3 Fang Teeth, like I don't care if we're behind in kills, if we're relatively close in gold, right? And neither of us have 3rd Fang Teeth yet, I feel like it's winnable unless someone DCs. Then it's like, forget it. There's like, otherwise, like I would fight, right? But as soon as one of our teammates just leaves, now it's a 4v5. I'm here wasting my time, and it fucking sucks.
Yeah, I think once people have 3 Fang, once they get 4 Fang Tooth buffs, you're kind of done for. Like, there's not a lot you could do to come back. Anything's possible, of course. There's always going to be those times that you rally up, win a big team fight, and then just push straight to the core or some shit like that. But for the most part, if you've lost 4 Fang, if you're down like 4-1 fucking Fang Toothers, whatever the fuck you want to call them, you're done. You're done for. And it kind of sucks.
Yeah. Predecessor is really a game of who makes the most mistakes out of the 2 teams. usually the one that makes the more mistakes, right? They end up losing.
Two in West Virginia, Soul Reaper.
That's a general MOBA thing anyway, but you guys know what I mean, right?
I understand what you're saying. I just like in Predecessor, especially to me, towers are kind of paper thin. Like, I feel like it should make it easier to run it down if you can win one fight. But like, I don't see a lot of my games getting turned around. Like, whoever's winning at the 20-minute mark is winning games like, 90+% of the time.
Yeah.
And how many times are you winning your games that the other team's winning in Raptors?
5%.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yes.
and
if you have a 3 Raptor deficit games, like I don't even know how many. I can probably count on one hand the amount of games I've won with a 3 Raptor deficit.
And what I was going back in the beginning, and I'm sorry my headset was messing up with me, guys. But what I was going with the beginning of that was the Raptor is supposed to be your secondary neutral, not your primary. And right now, Raptor is more detrimental in the game. If you that's a big deal, right? And I like the fact that me as a MOBA player, I love, especially an ADC main, right? ADC is right next to Fangtooth, right? So, and the same thing with what it was with Fault, right? I love the fact that, hey, this is a team game. This is a team objective. Let's make it worth something. Let's actually go to it, right? Because when I get into a game, especially when I was playing Fault or I was playing Pred, you get into these games and you just play with these casuals and they're just like, hey, I'm just sitting there playing to play. And it's like, no, like, this is the point of this game. I get you're playing to play. I want you to have fun too, but like, this is the point of it. Come here. We need you here. And let's actually take this objective. There was a time with Fault that the Raptor objective just wasn't worth it. You didn't even go, because all you're gonna go there's a team fight, and if you end up dying, it was definitely not worth dying for. Then they eventually made it was worth something. So the same thing here, it's definitely worth it right in the beginning. It's not worth it. It's worth it. Go there and die if you have to. Like, grab what you can, make them so they can't get it. So I just think it needs to be less strong, but still worth grabbing. That makes sense.
If you're trying to change Fang, do you keep the same kind of thing where it, like, the first 2 are sort of like cushion and then the next ones are really strong? Like, do you just nerf those, or like do you just change everything that it gives?
I think the stat boost should be temporary, but the other boost should be permanent, like a permanent increase to your buffs, and not such a large increase to your out of combat movement speed, but incremental increases the out of combat movement speed, something like that. I think that would be cool.
I agree with Lentor. I think since Raptor is just so damn strong, I would just kind of do something with Mini Prime. Like, if the enemy team is gonna just, let's say you lost someone like your jungler, and the whole enemy team is going to Fangtooth, you can counter by trying to get Mini Prime with maybe, I don't know, 2-3 people. But I would say, what do you guys think? Do you think they should just buff Mini Prime to make it as appealing as Raptor?
It's not. I'm not even talking about Mini Prime. For one, Mini Prime I think is really strong. You put Mini Prime on a Chimera, and that Chimera is now fucking strong at that time. Like, that's a tough thing to go up against. Mini Prime is fine as Mini Prime. I'm talking about Prime overall, like the main Prime. Like, people will avoid Prime, go get Fang, go get their 4 Fangtooths, and they'll just shove down lane because they've already got that huge stack of physical power, everything else added to it. Like, I can't remember the exact stat of what you get. You get a bunch of stuff. So I don't think Mini Prime really needs to be dealt with. I don't think Prime at all really needs to be dealt with. I think the issue is Fangtooth. I think we need to nerf Fangtooth to a point to where it's not as strong. And going off what Mangoose was saying, so what if you brought down your first initial Fangtooth, you get that 6% increase for, I don't know, let's say 3 minutes or 5 minutes, then that buff wears off, right? But you also get let's say you, instead of being 50%, longer lasting river buffs and your out of combat movement speed, those get added to every Raptor, and they gradually increase as you get them.
I mean, that would be good.
So let's say instead of being 50%, like your first Raptor, you get your river buffs are going to last, we'll say 20% longer, and then your second Raptor, they last 25% longer, or whatever the kind of increase. However, like I'm not a numbers guy here in this situation, but you also get with your first Raptor, you get river buff last for X amount of time, and you get out of combat movement speed, right? And every time you get that, those increase gradually. But your second Raptor, you're getting your 12% increase of power, and but that lasts again, like I don't know, we'll say 3 to 5 minutes, whatever that time may be, balance wise, and then that buff wears off, and then you get Raptor again, and that buff wears off, and you get it again, buff wears off.
I don't know. There's a lot of stuff they could do with it. I hate to bring up Overprime, but I like the way they do it when you're kicking the deer, as we call it. Which is the equivalent to their to Predecessor's Raptor, is it lowers the defenses on towers for a short period of time. I think something like that would be good, because then that would make it worth it for that losing team to take Raptor, and then they would be able to make something of it. They'd be able to open up the map a little bit on their side. Relieve some of the pressure of their lanes by taking Fangtooth. It would make it an actual bit of a comeback mechanic and a little more worth it for the team that's already getting beat down to take. I do like with Indians or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I do like how I was just gonna say that with PTO, you get the Prime Spirit, which would be the same thing as Fangtooth here. You get
the deer, yeah.
You get the minions get like you see them like kind of have they have a visual buff to them, so they do a little more damage going up. So when you push a wave under a tower, it'll definitely help that out. So that would be, there's definitely so many different things we could do. I'm not a game designer, so I'm not one to sit there and be like, hey, I think this should be it. But I mean, I don't know. I do what I can tell you as a gamer. What you currently have is too strong. That's what I can say.
Yeah, I think something needs to be done. And it seems like they play to do something, yeah.
I do think that making it harder to kill was a step in the right direction. Being able to solo it at 5 minutes on every jungler was not a good thing. So I think that was a good start.
Oh yeah,
actually, Kai.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's kind of Kai's niche. Like Kai is.
I agree. I think Kai can still do it at 5 minutes. No one else can.
I think he still should.
I agree. Like
that's
if you
his
pick
thing.
Kai,
Like
you
Mango
have to be
says.
worried about Fangtooth at 5 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree. All right. Well, we're getting towards the end of this show here, guys. All right. So we're getting towards the end of the show. Sorry, I'd read a message real quick. Closing thoughts. What are your guys', let's do closing thoughts for the community, because obviously we're still having some toxicity issues, and closing thoughts for the developers in general, and what we think we can do to help make this game a better situation. We'll start with Pinzo.
For the community, I'd say just do your best with new players. As soon as we get AI kind of matches where player onboarding gets a big there is any player onboarding, once that happens, I think that'll get much better. As far as the devs, I think they're doing good so far. I like the changes so far. I think that especially because it's EA, I don't think they need to be scared of making bigger changes. Like all the nerfs and stuff in the last patch were very light-handed. I don't think it's bad if they go a little heavier this time.
Right. Okay. Medkit.
All right. For the community, if you see your jungler on Fangtooth, go help him. If you're off lane, you can stay, because it depends, right? You don't have to travel all the way and just to kind of miss the action. But mid lane, dual lane, help out your jungler, get that Fangtooth. For the devs, theater mode, please.
All right. Mangoose.
To add to what Medkit was saying, also jugglers, if we ping fucking Raptor, go do it. Stop taking your goddamn blue buff and come take Raptor with us, goddammit.
Yes.
But for the community, just as a whole, I'm going to beat the same drum I always beat, and I think it should be an even louder drum now. You got Predecessor, you got Overprime. They're both their own thing, and we see that more and more that they are both their own games. And it doesn't matter what fucking weird, stupid argument you make. You're never going to, if somebody has picked Overprime as their game, you're never going to convince them that Predecessor is better. And the same for Overprime. If somebody has picked Predecessor as their game that they want to love and support, nothing you ever say is going to make them choose Overprime over Predecessor. So why even fucking try? Like, I don't understand where a lot of these arguments come from. They go absolutely nowhere. So why even make these arguments? I don't know. I'm just getting tired of it. Also, too, since I'm a little more unbiased and a little more middle of the road between the two games, if I critique Pred, it doesn't mean that I'm trying to demolish Pred and I'm paid off by Overprime. And the same for Overprime. If I critique Overprime, it doesn't mean that I hate Overprime and that I'm trying to make Predecessor succeed via my comments. I'm not that fucking important. Nobody watches my goddamn channel anymore. It's not the Paragon days where like I'd post a vid and get 15k views immediately. That shit don't happen no more. Nobody gives a fuck what I say. So why do you give a fuck what I say? I don't know.
Well, I definitely give a fuck what you say, Mangoose. Hence why I asked you to be on this show. Or actually, you asked me to be on the show, but I appreciate you coming on and I appreciate you asking. And I definitely give a fuck what you say. And I do know that you don't get paid by either one of these, and you make your comments because you want them both to succeed. And that's what people need to understand, that a critique, a constructive critique, is just for the benefit of the developers to help make the game better for themselves. So I greatly appreciate it. So keep putting your critiques out there. So, all right, for my 2 cents for the community and then 2 cents for the devs, community, going off of what Medkit said, solo lane, if your team's going for Fangtooth and your solo lane's not there, push your lane. Yes. Push your lane, all right? Because if you, for some reason, can't get Fangtooth, at least you got a tower out of it, all right? Push your lane. That's the biggest thing as a solo laner when you're in that situation. But yeah, Fangtooth, obviously, it's a huge deal. You have to go for it, and you have to go. And I agree with Mangoose. If you're, as an ADC main, I'm sitting there pinging, hey, ADC's up. ADC, Fangmouth's up. Fangmouth. Oh my gosh. Fangtooth is up. Let's go. We got to get there. We have to get there. And I'm ping.
When he swings, it literally just
right.
everybody in the pit.
So, but yeah. Devs, keep up the great work. But I'm hoping for some more Christmas skins, please. I think that's going to help a lot of people. I mean, again, we're hurting not having a store and stuff like that. So just kind of having the benefit of that, just some more Christmas skins would be great. I don't know how hard it is to implement them or not. I'm not that guy. I don't know. I'm not here, but you got Kalari. Let's get some more out there too. Big old Christmas present for us all.
Saint Rick.
Yeah, Saint Rick big time. My son would love to see the Krampus skin, is what he calls it.
That is my favorite Christmas skin out of the bunch.
I didn't include a message for the devs.
All right.
Despite what I just said. Pred devs, I think you need to take a page out of Overprime's book, buff Countess's ass. Because them cheeks in Overprime be clapping, but you still got that tiny little booty in Pred. Let's see it.
All right. All right.
They did shrink it down, I think.
All right. So Pinzo,
she's always had a tiny booty. It's just when you play Overprime, she's got this big fat ass, and you're like, where the fuck did that come from?
All right, Pinzo, real quick, give yourself a little shout out. Where the people can find you and what's going on, and then we'll include that in the link down below on the YouTube version.
TTV/Pinzo Dunzo, of course, youtube.com/Pinzo Dunzo. I stream, 12 Eastern to 6 Eastern most days.
All right.
You can find me there.
Medkit, do your little shout out.
Yeah. I stream, I'm on YouTube. I stream Predecessor. I don't really have a set schedule. I usually do it when I come back home from work, eat, get rested, and then play for like an hour. But you'll find me on YouTube. I stream almost every day.
All right. Mangoose?
check out For the Minions on my channel. We talk about 3 different MOBAs, Predecessor, Overprime, and Ethereal, which should be coming out eventually. It's a fun game. Bearded and I have both played it. But yeah, that's it.
All right. You got a couple other shows too, though, right? So you got For the Minions, you got Pop, right?
I got the Paragon, the Overprime Partners.
Yep.
Which I didn't even, to be perfectly honest, I didn't know I was going to be a permanent host. I thought I was going to be a guest the first show, and then like, I was like, oh no, this is a show that I'm doing now. Okay.
This is a show that I'm doing.
I'm happy to, you know me.
Right. Oh yeah, definitely. And you do those live as well. They're not just posted on YouTube content. So what, Sunday at 6 is your For the Minions?
And I think we're going to change it to Saturdays at 6 so we can accommodate the European audience.
Oh, perfect. All right. So okay, there you go. Yeah, great. Always great show when you can sit and listen to Mangoose and actually get some good content put out there. I love watching all those shows, so I definitely have that notification turned on, and I get it every time. So other than that, for myself, you're watching live here. This is where I stream from, Bearded Wolverine on Twitch. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm also been putting out a lot of content, or trying to, not a lot, I guess, not in comparison to some of these people that I'm actually in cast with here. These guys put out some great content, so I'm trying to get as good as them, put out some good YouTube content. You can see that on the Bearded Wolverine on YouTube. So go get me some love over there if possible. I'm growing. I've noticed my subscribers that number keeps getting higher. I love seeing that, so I appreciate everybody who's done that for me. And my views are getting higher as well, so I appreciate all that. But other than that, this is a great show. Appreciate you all being here, and we'll talk to you all next week. All right, peace.
Spicy.